Hey guys, imagine if President Obama told American citizens to go out and murder criminals, murder drug dealers. How crazy would that be? I mean, what would it be like living in the U.S.? I think it would be a lot different, maybe more scary, maybe more safe. I don't know. Um, Obviously, Obama has not told Americans to murder and kill criminals and drug dealers, but the president of the Philippines has. So I just saw this article today. President of the Philippines, newly elected. Well, I think it was in July or something, or in the summer sometime. But this guy, Rodrigo Duterte, I don't know if you've heard about him, but he said he once threw a man from a helicopter. And he also says he threatens to throw corrupt officials out of a helicopter. He said he's done it before. He said that a Chinese man that was not convicted but accused of rape and assault, he got him up in a helicopter and he threw him out. And he also says that he will do it from a low altitude, not too high, because apparently he said something about not being able to hear him as he hits the ground. So it says, if you are corrupt, I will fetch you using a helicopter to Manila and I will throw you out. I have done this before. Why would I not do it again? Wow, according to police, before I thought it was only 2,000 people, but it says 5,900 people have been killed since Duterte took office in late June. And he declared a war on drugs. I don't know if you've heard of this guy or this situation. I'm sure you have. It's pretty well known, but I keep hearing things in the news about him. And this latest one is he threw someone out of a helicopter. He used to be a mayor of a city in the Philippines, and now he's president. And I think he was a prosecutor at one point as well. But yeah, he's just telling, when he first took office, he just told the public they can kill criminals. He said, go out there and kill drug dealers, kill criminals, kill addicts. Just addicts, just like, average people. Not necessarily, you don't have to take out the top people. You could just take out criminals in general, addicts and, small-time dealers and stuff like that. Right here, he supports vigilantism. And he said that in a nationally televised speech. And with criminals who resist arrest or threaten citizens, the controversial politician suggested that it was fine for citizens to take the law into their own hands. I mean, this is like an interesting approach. I don't think I've ever heard about this or seen anyone else take this kind of stance. I mean, normally when someone is trying to help make the world a better place, then they're taking out themselves. And I think that's like the situation here. And I was thinking if the drug dealers know about this, the kingpins, the people at the top, they would want to take this president out. And so I looked it up, and it said that, let me see, that he said that and when I looked it up, it said, yeah, these drug lords, they have a bounty on his head. They have $1 million bounty on his head. These drug lords, these big time, these drug kingpins, these drug lords, they like have their own army pretty much because they make so much money. And when there's somebody like this, a president of a country, who's saying it's okay to kill drug dealers, that cuts off their money supply. These drug lords, these drug kingpins, it cuts off their money supplies because people are taking out the dealers, people are taking out the addicts, and if there's no addicts, there's no dealers, then they're not going to be making any money. So when you hurt a bad person, when you mess with their money, then they're going to come after you. And this is the case here. There's a lot of kingpins, drug lords that have a bounty on his head. But the crazy thing, when I researched this, it says he knows about it, and he actually said he would pay police officers more than the drug pushers, which I think is kind of a good thing, because a lot of people, I think, get into the drug trade, into the drug business because they can't make money any way else. They can't survive. They have to go to these measures, hurt people, sell drugs, do these things just to survive. And there was never any option. So now there is an option. They're going to get paid more for taking out these criminals, these drug dealers. So he says, if he puts up Philippines 100 million, I will give you 150 million. Slaughter them and I will be happy, he added. In jest, Duterte promised to give an on-the-spot promotion to policemen who would eliminate drug lords. I will give you a promotion on the spot from PO1 to general, he said. He reiterated that policemen can kill criminals if they do so to defend themselves. These are my orders, and listen very carefully. If you encounter a criminal and ask him to surrender, if he chooses to fight and you think you feel in your guts that you will die in the fighting, unahan mo na, go ahead, kill the criminal, especially those involved in drugs, he said. And government officials will not be spared. I mean, he threatened to throw even government officials out of a helicopter. So it's pretty crazy what's going on over there. Right there, corrupt officials. I'm not sure if this is the correct way to go about it. I mean, what do you guys think? Do you guys think this is a good thing? I think the most ideal situation is to like get rid of greed. I think if there was no greed, then people wouldn't be living in poverty. If wealth was spread evenly, and there wasn't greed, or just not necessarily the wealth has to be spread evenly, but if the people with money would actually help the people that need it, then I think the world would be a better place. People probably wouldn't be on drugs as much as they are. There'd be less violence. There would be less anger, depression, suicide. There would be a lot less problems if, the people with all the money who hold all the cards would just help the people that have nothing. So I think that would be the ideal situation. But I think Duterte kind of knows. I think he kind of knows that that's like a hopeless situation. That's not going to happen. Greed is not going to end. It's been here since the beginning of time. It'll be here since the end, until the end of time. If there's man, there's going to be greed. There's going to be someone that wants more than the next person. So I think he knows it's kind of futile to try to end greed. So I guess the next best thing for him is to just fight fire with fire, eye for an eye, and take out these criminals. Like I said, I don't think it's the best scenario. I don't think that people should just be murdered. But apparently there's been 6,000 people who've been murdered. I mean, here's an article that talks about a gal that actually kills dealers for a living. Says she's killed 6 people so far. Her husband originally was doing it, but apparently they like to have women as well, because it's easier for women to get in with these criminals without drawing any suspicion. This is
nicknamed the Punisher, has called for the executions of drug users as the latest measure of his unmerciful efforts to cut down on crime. Tons of whores are destroying our children, Duarte said earlier this month in a profanity-ridden speech in front of a crowd of 500.
I guess I should have clicked on the record
The Guardian reported.
audio, but I didn't, so
Go ahead and kill them yourself, he
hopefully
said.
you can hear this.
Within the first week of Duarte's presidency, at least 72 suspected drug dealers were killed by police and vigilante groups.
Wow,
The suspected
72
dealer
people
was
within the
killed
first
in
week.
Manila last week and left in the street with packing tape over his face and a cardboard sign that read, "I'm a pusher," covering his chest.
Yeah, they tell them to put cardboard on top of these people so everybody can see. Everybody can see who they are and what they do, and what's the repercussions for their actions. But anyway, this gal, she killed 6 people. Her husband originally was doing it. Like I said, they need women because they're less suspicious when they get in with these guys, with these kingpins, and then they could take them out easily. This gal says she hopes they'll last. She has kids, and she has a baby, and she hopes this last person is the last person she has to kill. But apparently they told her if anybody tries to leave, they will be killed. If anybody tries to stop killing these drug dealers, then they will be killed as well. So it's kind of hard for her to do that. So this is a good article. It talks about, the people who are killing the criminals, and it also talks about it talks with the actual an addict who says he's always on the run. He's always on the run, moving to place every few days to avoid being tracked down and killed. He doesn't want to be an addict. He doesn't, and he wants to turn himself in, but he thinks if he does, he's going to be murdered. So, there's a lot of crazy cases on both sides of the fence. It's kind of unfortunate that a lot of people are having to be murdered. What do you guys think? Do you guys think this is the way it should be? Because, bad people aren't afraid of killing good people. That's why a lot of good people, meet their end early. Especially a lot of people in power, especially a lot of people with influence. MLK, JFK. These people with influence, if they would have lived their entire lives, then they could have helped the world, make the world a better place. But bad people don't want that. They have ulterior motives. They want the world the way they want it. So anybody that's going to get in the way of that, they're not afraid to take out. Now, good people, on the other hand, aren't willing to do that with with bad people. Like the average person is just not going to go kill a bad person. So that leaves a lot more bad people in the world than it does good or good people that can make change for the better. So is this a good thing? I don't know. It's kind of, like I said, fighting fire with fire. Let me know what you think. If you think this is good, if you think that people should just go out and murder criminals, if that would make the world a better place, what would the world be like if it was just vigilante justice? I mean, you'd probably have people just killing others and saying they're criminals, maybe like a witch hunt, back in the Salem witch trial days, where you could just point someone out and say they're a witch, and they get mobbed. So there's pros and cons. Of course, murder is a con. I don't think people should just be murdered, but I just wish there was no more greed, and I think that would solve all of our problems. But until then, we're going to probably see things like this. We'll see how long, Duterte lasts. We'll see, governments might not like this thing either, so they might be going after him too. We shall see. Anyway, I saw this article. I thought it was interesting. I had been following this guy from when he first took office. I thought it was a pretty crazy thing that I never really heard of any leader taking this stance on criminal activity and allowing the public to kill criminals. Anyway, that's it, and I will talk to you later. Bye.